Now, schizophrenia-like symptoms can in fact be shared. The name for that would be a shared psychotic disorder. I have a small anecdote for you to describe this. In one case, there were 3 sisters. 2 were healthy and 1 possessed this illness. They committed a crime which brought their illness to light. It started out with the older healthy one being fearful of harm coming from her mentally ill mother to her children. The 2 sisters moved in to assist the other one with childcare. The sisters became inseparable and preoccupied with religion. They spent hours praying together. 3 days before their arrest, they continuously prayed with no sleep. The sister with the disorder became convinced that God had special plans for her and her siblings, and he would provide for them. She set her focus on how she believed they were to occupy. They all marched into this stranger's house and asked the owner if their room was ready. When the owner refused to let them in, they went in full rage, spitting out threats and trying to break in. They were swiftly arrested. In jail, they wore no clothes and said that they would be as God had created them. They didn't practice hygiene and performed religious rituals. At one point, when the officers tried to communicate with the sisters, they attacked them. It took Mace 2 hours and 15 sheriff deputies to subdue them. Later, all 3 were placed in a mental facility. 2 of the healthy ones separated from the schizophrenic. They recovered without medication, unlike their sibling, who had been prescribed medicine. They all showed great improvement. It has been debated on whether or not cults are mass shared psychotic disorders. Some may consider what the sisters had was their own small cult. Based on the definition of a cult, as previously stated, a group of people joined together by a common ideological system fostered by a charismatic leader, this consideration is adequate. This story comes from the Journal of American Academic of Psychiatry and Law Online. After all this, one may ask, what the cults do. I'll have some examples of cults. This one is Heaven's Gate. These people believed that they would be saved by a spaceship. They gave up family possessions and their hair. They shaved it. They believed that a UFO was rumored to be following a near comet. They were found in a mass suicidal thing in purple shoes. All of them were wearing those purple things and Nikes. I don't know why, but that's what they were. Next. This is one of the most scary ones. It's called the People's Temple. They were formed not too far from here, in Indianapolis, Indiana. They actually killed a congressman. And right after that, 900 people were convinced in committing suicide in Guyana, which is in South America. 276 of them were children. The parents actually killed their children for their religious beliefs. And those that were opposed to commit suicide were dead. There's actually a picture of that. It's tragic. Next. And this is a very interesting cult. I find it kind of scary. It's called Mance's Family. They believe that there would be a race war between the blacks and the whites, and that the blacks would win this war. But, however, they thought that the whites would later need to guide the blacks after they won. And they thought that their family, their cult, would be the ones chosen for this job. They would kill white people and then blame it on black people. They're like, oh, that guy did it. That wasn't us. But later on, they were, of course, caught and sentenced to the death penalty. However, California removed the death penalty, so they were sentenced to life in jail. Next. Cults have special ways of keeping people in their cults. They use lack of sleep, constant lecturing, monotonous chanting, rhythmical singing. The members are constantly tired, and as we all know, when you're tired, you're thinking, whatever, I'll do whatever you want me to do. This actually leads to altered state of consciousness and affects the brain, the temporal lobe. And you can actually get a mental illness for this called conversion syndrome. Next. After all this, one may ask, can people be saved from such a mighty system? And of course they can be. The oldest method is deprogramming. This is where they would actually kidnap their family or friend from the cult, and they would have them go through debriefing. Debriefing is when they have them go through like a reverse cult experience. They try to have people connect with who they used to be, their past memories. But nowadays, people use exit counseling, which is a lot more cheaper because deprogramming costs thousands of dollars, of course, to kidnap a person. It's expensive. But after exit counseling, they also go through debriefing, which is what I said it was. A difference in that is that exit counseling also focuses on family and friends. They teach them to be loving and supporting, because if they weren't, the cult member could also be like, oh, they're being evil to me. Of course, the cult would write, my family is evil, they're from Satan, and stuff like that. Next. After being in a cult, there's some aftermath that the members would face. Depression, guilt, fear, paranoia, slow speech, rigidity of facial expression, body posture, indifference to physical appearance. They don't practice hygiene. Passive behavior and memory impairment. Some people never recover from this. It can take years, but family and counseling really helps. Cults are an extremely dangerous thing. They can damage not only the body, but the mind. Something that can never be retrieved, revived, or resurrected in any way. You now know how one can be recruited, what happens in their enclosed society, and how difficult it is afterwards. I hope you all have learned from this presentation, and if you ever to join something similar to what I spoke of, take all of this into consideration. Alluring as they may be with their mysterious rituals and tragically romantic fates, these organizations are malignant to the world as a whole. Mind control isn't as difficult to be ensnared as you may think. I encourage everyone today to always, always, always think before you leave. All groups benefit from their members, but not all members benefit from their groups. Don't be one to receive the short end.